May profits be upon you. We're going to take a look at gold and silver. First, we're going to take a look at gold. Now, this is the weekly. What do you see? A mess. All right. This is this kind of PA. I don't like to dive in. All right. There's no sense in doing a big old top down analysis and everything because there's a lot of ups and downs in here. So one has to be careful. And I'm going to look at the nuance, right? The nuances. But at first, let's look at the broad strokes on the weekly. What I want to point out is after this push, we got this corrective structure, right? And then we have another push to the downside, a impulsive push, right? Now, I don't think that's hard to see. Okay, this is an impulse. We have a correction, and we may be working on getting down lower for another impulsive move. All right, I am actually looking for that next impulsive move. Is this part of a larger correction, like so? That kind of correction? I hope not, because that would drive me crazy. But what I'm looking at is we took this low here. We took that low here. All right. So if I was thinking this was going to be another corrective, like wavy kind of, complex correction, like so, then I would be looking for a higher high. But that's not what happened. We got a break of that low. Okay. So I am looking for more bearish action. All right. We have these relative equal lows here. Now this one takes its place, but we have this low here for prices to price to come down and get all of that liquidity. I'm thinking this is drawing price to it, right? And you see these blue lines? I believe these are the targets. One at 1777 and the other one at 1750. Again, this is on the gold weekly time frame. All right. And for the last 1, 2, 3 weeks, we had 3 weeks of bearish closes, right? Lots of broad movement though. All right. But man, it's a big old doji. I don't particularly care trading those, but I'm noting how the week is starting, has ended here for gold, right? So I'm looking to see how the next week will start. Okay, let's go to the daily. This was Friday's. This was Friday's candle, right? Comes down, takes the liquidity and here, and we pull back. What am I thinking? Well, after after a significant level of liquidity has been taken, right? You expect a pullback, whether it's bullish or bearish. You expect a pullback after liquidity is swept, right? So this is natural. Do I expect price to come back down? I do, because I think this is a bearish structure. Look at this engulfer. Look how big the previous candle was. Look at that broad range. And the next candle opened, pushed up a little bit, swept the high, and came down and engulfed the entire candle. All right. We had a follow through candle next that brought price back up, retesting the base candle, like I always mention, all right, into this zone of supply, this large zone, the daily zone of supply, and price fell from here. Okay, taking out this low. Now, this is a significant low, and we're going to take a good look at that on the doggone 4-hour time frame. Let's go. Now, why is it significant? Because, man, it's a zone of demand. Look at that. And look how pretty this setup was. This is my setup. Comes back, return to impulse, boom, boom, we're waiting here, boom. I mean, that is my setup. That's the setup I always look for. But the more significant thing of it is it's a demand zone that got taken out. Bam. All right. And what does that mean? we examine it. We're looking for the fact that price came down here, gave us this weird, ridiculous doji candle here, right? But it came down and finally broke. All right. Here we come back. Where are we coming back to? The supply that broke this demand. And I'm looking for price to give me my setup for a short. All right. That is the flip. Demand to supply flip zone. Okay. Got to be careful here. All right. I don't take any shorts. I don't just, you don't just jump in. All right. I'm looking at this zone. I'm looking at the fact that the means threshold of it, the halfway mark is up here. We could sweep that high. We can sweep this high here, and price. Hello, price could really. You're just gonna, disrespect me, right? All right. You see the high, a pullback, a higher high, a low that breaks that low, and a return to impulse. This is what I'm looking for around here. All right. I'm looking for price to round over. It could start this little pattern here. Okay. I'm looking at that means threshold area. All right. Now, if price breaks this high without giving me my setup, all right, which I would confirm on the 15, I would look for a 15-minute change of character here, and then I'll enter on the 1. That's the way I do it. But I'm looking for the contact to come here first, and then I'll look on the 15 for my my normal setup. Okay. But if it goes past this high, that invalidates this setup. All right. And I would be looking for a price to quite possibly sweep this high and mitigate this zone, and we can move this up here. But we're going to focus on this one because this is the flip zone. This is the flip. All right. If price wants to come up here, I need a close pass here to invalidate this setup. If it just wicks past, this zone is still good. I need a close past it to invalidate this setup. You understand? Now, we're going to move on to silver. Look at the price action on silver. All right. Now, look at it on gold. Silver is the better setup. I'm telling you that right now. All right. Silver is the better setup. It's weaker. Okay. It's weaker against the dollar. So let's look at the weekly really quick. Impulse. Look at this long sideways correction. Look at this. Ugh. And then it starts to take out lows. Slowly starts to take out these short-term lows, right? Finally, see it pull back. Then it does this. All right, fine. That's good. That's good. It comes up, respects. All right. And then we're starting to come down impulsively. Now that's where your antenna needs to go up when you see that impulsive displacement. All right. As ICT likes to call these displacements. All right. When you see that displacement and you know that it's gone past, look at this zone here. Look at this zone. All right. That is a heavily active zone acting as support there, right? We finally get below it. That's why I have that major breakout level there. All right. We can finally get below it. I'm looking for a price to come back up to retest that area. All right. Why retest this area? Because we're in a zone of supply. We're in a zone of supply, and I want to see price come back up and round over here. What am I doing? All right, let's go down to the daily. Hold on. We can see the price action a little more clearly, right? All right, we take out that low. We take out this low here for a break of structure. A break of structure, right? And after every break of structure, what do you expect? A return to impulse. Am I correct? Am I correct? If I'm wrong, say I'm wrong, but I believe I am correct. And I would be looking here. The buying started here before the aggressive sell-off. So I'm going to look here first. All right, on as far as a daily zone to look at. The more refined version would be here. All right, the more refined version would be here. And I'll be looking at that zone. This big old zone up here is a daily zone. And that's just something I'm going to keep in mind. All right, because price could go up in here and cause all kind of chaos. All right, there's another zone up in here as well, right above it. So I'm going to keep my eye on these areas. One of the reasons why I like to do a top down is because I get to see the price action a little more clearly at major higher time frame zones. All right, so let me get this right. Yeah, I don't need it all the way extended all the way over there like that. All right, that's cool. All right, and we are in this larger daily zone up here. You don't need to see all of that. All right, we already know we're in the zone. All right, matter of fact, you don't even need to see this at all. We already know that we are in a bearish zone, a higher time frame zone. So if price does revisit back up in here, I like this area. I like this zone here. So I am definitely going to look here. All right. We may use this what do you call it? This wick as inducement. All right. Price could use that as a liquidity point to come and mitigate this zone. And we could see our setup here. Okay. And we'll target that low. All right. I believe price is going to come down here to the next level of demand. All right, down here, and you can see the numbers over here, 1835, around that area. We have a zone here. All right, that should be a daily zone if I'm not mistaken. But the first target will be the low that was already created here. All right, and that's if we get that pullback. If we get that pullback, we're in business. We are in business. But this is a nice zone. But I want to look here. I want to look here first. We have some what do you call it? Momentum. And I want to see if it gets past here first. We get some bearish price action at this level around 2080. Around this area, 2073, excuse me, 2073. I'm going to take a hard look at this, but I definitely want you to be aware of this little area here. All right, be careful of that because that could be inducement for a higher mitigation. I'm looking at the price action as soon as it reaches these areas. There is no doubt about it. Okay, I want you to be careful. So we have one area. I'm going to put one. All right, I'm going to put two here. And if we get to three, if we get to three, that's fine. Those are the three areas I'm going to look at, all right, for this pullback, because I believe a pullback is coming. So let's look at this one for bearish price action. Wait for confirmations. As soon as price hits these areas, that's when I go to the 15-minute and look for that pattern. You know, I look for actually a change of character where I see there might be a shift in the momentum. And I'll look for that same shift over here at number 2 or at number 3 if it keeps heading up. But I don't think we're getting up here. I think we're going to be somewhere between 1 and 2. And that's where I'll be looking for a short. That's where I would suggest you look for a short. It's only a suggestion. I'm not a financial expert. So, you know, I'm not offering financial advice. You do what you want to do. Okay. I will see you in the next video. Hey, check out the futures weekly outlook that I gave earlier. I'm going to leave it on your screen right now. It's a great way to get insight into the individual currency strengths and weaknesses. All right. So you can actually see if this is it as strong as it appears, you know, on a meter that you might be looking at, some meter app. You know what I mean? Look at the actual structure and say, yeah, it does look like it may be getting stronger or maybe getting weaker, right? Look at the commodities, of course, not the FX pairs. Anyway, if, you know, in this case with silver and gold. All right, but check that video out. I'm leaving it on your screen right now to the left, and I will see you in the next video.